Hey everyone, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. Chasta here. We're calling this episode What the Funk. I feel the need to spell that. F-U-N-K. Just making sure we're clear. This week, Bay Area metal and hip-hop veteran Shaun Bivens joins us to talk about his latest projects and his brand new book, Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll, One Man's Journey to God. Singer-songwriter Lola Christine will return to discuss her powerful new video. And can you believe that it's been 5 years already since we lost Prince? We'll explore his legacy and the impact he left behind. This is Soundwaves TV. Hey everyone, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. Chasta, Dennis, and Steve, the whole gang's here. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Not too shabby,
Well,
actually.
here we are. Live music is back, you guys. How do we feel?
I'm feeling pretty good about it, to be honest with you. You know, while I haven't actually stepped out of my house and gone to a show yet, just knowing that people are out there doing things now. I've seen some of our bands that have been on the show. They're doing live appearances here, and they're doing little small groupings here. But you know what? They're out and about. People are sitting down across from them, whether there's 15 people or there's a whole, 2,000 people. People are listening to live music again, and it's making me happy.
I just got fully vaccinated, so I just feel like I have my Captain America shield on, and I kind of feel nervous. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I have a little bit of anxiety about going back out in the world. It's been a year, but I feel like I'm still gonna be that girl to wear my mask probably for years to come. I'm just gonna put that out there. It will be part of my life because it makes me feel safer. So fully vaccinated, mask on, but I'm ready to do this. I'm very excited to be able to see live music and rock out again, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, I feel bad that I missed a couple of our friends. Sam Chase played like 5 minutes from my house and I didn't go.
Yeah.
But the thing is, getting back out there, it's exciting to me. Seeing live music, of course, it's going to be amazing. I've had this really weird thing happen. It kind of goes hand in hand with not wanting to go back to a movie theater. I kind of don't care about going to a big show all of a sudden. Like if I'm going to experience live music, I think I want to see it in a really intimate setting. And I can't say that I really separated that before, but I was like thinking about going to see Sam. Yeah, I want to go do that. Thinking about going to see like a big old thing where I'm way back and it's a hassle. I don't know. I think I've gotten used to keeping it kind of chill here at my house. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll fix that.
That's interesting.
No. This will not stand. No. We are going to go see some big-ass shows. We're going to sit all the way in the back. We're going to get drunk in the parking lot before we go in. We're going to do the whole
all
thing.
Of that stuff in. I mean, that does make it better.
Yeah, see?
All of a sudden, he's raring to go again. See how that works?
See?
I was going to say, so when Bruce Springsteen comes back to town, we'll just tell him you're going to pass.
Now, hey, you hit me where I'm living there. Okay.
Of course.
Of course, we're going to keep this conversation going because it is ever-changing and hopefully ever-changing for the better. Coming up, we've got an amazing show this week. We've got Lola Christine. She's going to join us and talk about her very powerful new video. And we're going to have Shaun Bivens on to talk about his 30-year Bay Area career, hip-hop, rock, thrash. This guy has done it all. And because he did it all, he had to change the direction of his life. We're going to talk about his new book, Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll, One Man's Journey to God. You don't want to miss that.
He is such an impressive soul. My gosh, the talent in that guy is amazing. So first up, we've got a new video directed by Mike Sloat. And we've got on bass, Tim Narducci. We've got a lot of friends. We know a lot of people. Are we serious with this? What is he doing? We also have Thaddeus Gonzalez. It's Thaddeus's video directed by our boy Mike Sloat, Tim Narducci on bass. So enjoy. And it looks like Steve is already enjoying.
As the old saying goes, I've got an open door policy around here. You bring the alcohol, I'll open the door.
And that officially gets the party started. Let's do it.
of a good hustle. The death, the death, the death of a good hustle. The death, the death, the death, the death, the death, the death, the death of a good hustle. The death, the death, the death, the death, the death, the death, the death of a good hustle. Breathe in the new air. Breathe in. 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 Tear your old self down. Start a vow right now to bury your demons down along with you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Soundwaves TV. That was Thaddeus Gonzalez with The Death of a Good Hustle. Coming up, the latest from Bite Me Bambi. Singer-songwriter Lola Christine will join us. Also, Bay Area metal and hip-hop veteran Shaun Bivens. And it's been 5 years already since we lost Prince. Morris Knight has a special tribute coming up for you. But first, I got to throw it over to my boy Dennis with the Power Pick of the Week. Dennis?
Thank you, Chasta. Yes, time again for our Power Pick of the Week, and this time it's from a San Francisco band that used a classic sitcom as their jumping off point for their music video. Hold on a second. Full House? I don't know anything about Full House. I'm sorry. Back to you, Chasta.
Okay. Dennis has nothing. What about Stephen Kirk? Stephen?
Yeah, Full House. 90s. Sitcom set in San Francisco. Olsen twins. Oh, you know what? I do remember John Stamos had awesome hair.
Steven's got nothing. Okay. Morris Knight. Morris always has something. Let's see what Morris has for us. Morris.
What?
Okay. Morris has got nothing. All right. So just 1 second. Let's just see here. Baby Huey, no. Dana Keys. I don't know if she's a Full House person. Oh, what do we have here? Giselle Fernandez, asterisk, huge Full House fan. Okay. Giselle Fernandez, you're up.
Cut it out, Shasta. Well, we're so thrilled to share with you a fun parody video from a local band, and they actually did this music video based on a beloved American sitcom that graced our television for 8 seasons. It had a hit revival on Netflix, and it's based on our city, San Francisco. You know, the sitcom that got you quoting Uncle Jesse's "Have Mercy" and Michelle Tanner's "You Got It, Dude." Well, these guys are obviously huge fans of Full House. Here is the Power Pick of the Week, Carpal Tunnel, and their song Dreaming Still on Soundwaves TV. And while this song's playing, I'm going to be doing some cleaning.
Darling, 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 can you get it? Remember how you always used to see the world always dreaming, but now you're sinking. Can we run around and carry on the days when 22 seems so far away? But I've been worried, so just tell it's likely that you'd slip away. Dreaming still, lullabies pass you by. What a thrill.
Coming up on Soundwaves TV, Lola Christine joins us to talk about her powerful new video and healing through the power of music.
During the 80s and 90s, few artists made an impact the way that Prince Rogers Nelson did. He blurred the lines between rock, soul, funk, hip-hop, and gospel, sometimes even within the same song. He starred in and directed his own films, wrote for and produced dozens of artists, and played all the instruments on their albums too. 1999, Controversy, Purple Rain, Batman, Sign of the Times, even changing his name to a symbol. For better or for worse, Prince did everything his way. And then sadly, Prince left us 5 years ago, April 21st, 2016, and the world has been a little less magical ever since. So, every once in a while, I get asked the question, who is my favorite artist of life? And actually, it's a really easy question for me, or really easy for me to answer that question. Anyone who knows me knows it's all about Prince. Always has been. From the minute he hit the scene in late 1978 till, for his entire career. And what a great hero for me as a teenager in the 80s to have. Someone who not only was the best at what he did musically, from producing also and writing songs, but it just, the way he lived his life in the 80s, especially, everything he did was top notch. He demanded the best from himself, and he demanded the best from everyone around him. And no matter what you were doing, he always found a place for you to fit in, and for you to totally, shine at being yourself and being great at what you do. So it was great for me to have Prince as a hero. So I've, of course, got all his songs, all his records, all his CDs and tapes. And what I've done is compiled a playlist, my very own purple playlist, if you will. And you can check it out at soundwavestv.com. Just click on the little Spotify button there and check out what I think is the true essence of Prince, in my very own humble opinion, because I've been purple for a long time and going to continue to be. Check it out.
Singer-songwriter Lola Christine has been featured here on Soundwaves TV several times, from interviews to featuring her mini videos and even multiple Soundwaves Christmas performances. But this time around, we're talking about her new video, I Wish You Love.
I won't hold your words against you.
It's a raw, unfiltered look at how to end a relationship with grace and how she has turned heartbreak into art.
Forgiveness for you and for myself.
Please welcome Lola Christine back to Soundwaves TV. Hello, my love. How are you?
Oh, I am pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm in Maui right now.
Life could be worse. Our viewers have seen you on our show so many times. I've talked to you a couple of times. We've had you on Christmas shows, and we've shown all of the videos I think that you've ever created in your whole life, including this most recent video, Lola. Good Lord. Okay. So this is not just oh, you're a beautiful songstress and oh, you write an amazing song. This is a different level. I mean, I got a disclaimer from Dennis when he got it first, and he called me and he said, "We have a new video from Lola. You got to go see it now." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "But prepare yourself." I'm like, what's happening? Because, you're a friend of ours now. I'm like, "Is everything okay?" He's like, "Just watch the video." I'm like, okay. I watched it. I had tears streaming down my face. I walked in my house and I was like, "Babe," telling my husband, I'm like, "I just saw the most powerful, vulnerable performance on film that I have ever seen from a musician in my whole life." Like you went there, sister. You really went there. I mean, congratulations. Feels weird to say because it's a tough song, but kudos for going there. That's the way I'll put it.
Thank you. It was
Tears.
really a new space for me to be showing publicly.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of my career, I've associated myself, with like this kind of sunshiny, bright, inspirational, motivational kind of like, girl. And to really, really go into that hard, dark, sad place and put it out was, just totally new for me, but it felt so important to be that real.
And that's why it cut through. I mean, you can see and hear, there's a brief moment or two where your voice, breaks up and it just, my God, it just sends like swords through your torso. Like, it's like, oh my God, it's brutal, but it's so beautiful. And it's so relatable because we've all been there. Like, you're coming out of a relationship and you're processing. But what was amazing about this, because I read the blog that you posted online about it too, was that you were really processing it in real time. Like, you are going through this breakup, you sat down, you wrote a poem, and I believe it was within 24 hours you had written this song and shot this video. Like, we're seeing real time healing coming from you in this.
I felt so in this flow of things kind of like lining up to it was almost like I couldn't deny the way things were flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the poem came, and then the next day I'm sitting at the piano and the music just boom came right away. And then one of the fellows I'm staying with here at this house residency, he's a professional cinematographer and a really good friend of mine, and he knew the whole situation. And I was just like, I have a vision for this video. And he's like, let's do it. And so
I have chills. I was just covered in chills.
And the way, like, it was a rainy day that, like, the weather it was just lined up perfectly. And then I spent the next day like editing the video for hours and hours and just getting all the shots exactly the way I wanted it. And then it was done and I'm like, well,
here we go.
Yeah. So like, it was interesting because the process of creating it was like so in a flow that I wasn't even really thinking about like, what am I going to do with it? It was just like, I have to create this thing. And then once the creation was done, it felt like, okay, now I have to face the fact that I'm sharing something more vulnerable than I've ever shared.
Yeah.
For everyone in my life to see, instead of being like post recovery and saying,
reflecting back. Right, exactly. But that's why this journey, I mean, within seconds, you're like, as a viewer, you're connected. And I know, I truly don't think it's because I know you. I've followed your career for a few years now, but I think anyone just stumbling across this on YouTube within seconds would be like, oh, this is some real stuff. I mean, it's such a mature song. The lyrics are so beautifully written and it's really amazing and a testament to, your songwriting ability, that it just came to you, flowed through you, and flowed out. Now, I do have to ask the tough question here. Did you have a conversation with him about this before it came out? I'm just like, that's the gossipy side of it, but I do have to ask because it's kind of a heavy one for him to just roll across and be like, oh, okay.
So what's funny and synchronistic, which is kind of the theme of my life a lot of times, I released it without talking to him about it because we weren't really communicating at that time.
Gotcha.
It was kind of a harsh split.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, I released it. And then I think it was the night of or the next day, I see him at the grocery store in town.
Oh my God.
And, it was awkward. And we were both like, bye, sorry, whoops.
Oh, geez. We've all had those moments. Oh, God. Ugh.
But then that night, he texted me saying that he went on my page and he looked at the blog and what I had written, and he was really grateful that I was really reflecting on our relationship in that way. And, he also said some really sweet things like, I also wish you love, and I don't want to end in this explosive manner. That's not who we were. Yeah. We were best friends. And so to just exit in this rough way, it wasn't right. And so we actually have been talking now since then, and it's been amazing to really look at openly talking about what we experienced in the relationship, what the dynamics were we witnessed, and to not be so personally attached.
Yeah. Oh, that's
to not be so in it that it gets triggering, and then you get well, you did this and you did that.
It's not personally attacking. Yeah.
And this is the first time I've been able to actually have adult conversation about a relationship after it's ended, and it's been so healing and so insightful. And the song actually, because it all came so quickly, the only form it exists in right now is that video. I do want to record, a full studio version,
please,
at some point in the future. Yeah. And I have big visions for that, with a whole choir kind of singing these beautiful ooh, underneath the chorus. And
I have chills on my head just thinking about it. Seriously, you're giving me the goosies just thinking about it. Well, Lola, I can't tell you how much I adore you. Truly, you're such a special human being. And I'm so grateful that we found you a couple years ago and have been able to watch you grow literally and blossom as a woman. So we've talked about the video enough. I feel like we definitely should show it. Here's the disclaimer. Go grab a Kleenex real quick. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care if you're a truck driver or a bodybuilder. You need a Kleenex for this one because it is so, so, so good. So it's I Wish You Love by Lola Christine. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
Exist within the shades of gray. Too caught up in black and white. Who is wrong and who is right? I never wanted to win the war. I'm sorry if it seemed that way. Your heart is all I was longing for, and now we're stuck in blame. But I won't hold your words against you. I will wish you well. every challenge, every test. And I may never understand the pain you clenched inside of your hands, the parts of you that you denied until they took your body over. I hope that in the calm of night you feel that angel on your shoulder. And I won't hold your words against you. I will wish you well. And I am working on forgiveness for you and for myself. And even when that burning rage arises in my bones, I will let that fire refine me so I can wish you love. I wish you love. I wish you peace. I wish you joy in everything. I wish you hope when the dark surrounds you. May you feel my arms around you. I am there beside you through the storm. And I won't hold your words against you. I will wish you well. And I am working on forgiveness for you and for myself. And even when that burning rage arises in my bones, I'll let that fire refine me so I can wish you love. I wish you love. I wish you love.
Coming up, Shaun Bivens talks about his latest projects and his book, Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll, One Man's Journey to God.
Check out Soundwaves TV on all our social media accounts. Deleted scenes, extended interviews, and the latest announcements and official playlists. The Bay Area plays here. Hit us up everywhere at Soundwaves TV.
Take a walk out on the streets and tell me what you see. The selfish greed, the apathy, a living catastrophe. welcome in your company. As we struggle to belong, how can we be sure? The only thing to pull me through is the fire in my heart and these pictures of you. Were we born to follow or made to lead? I'm not going down easy. There's got to be a better way than just to watch the world go down in flames. We could be the tidal wave. Can we right the wrongs we made and shine the light that leads the way? Will we pay for our mistakes and wash away the pain? Hold on tight, we will weather the storm. The darkest time comes before the dawn. We won't be defeated, the hopeless mistreated. Stand up and fight for what you love. There's got to be a better way than just to watch the world go down in flames. Down in flames. There's got to be a better way than just to watch the world go down in flames. We could be the tidal wave. Can we right the wrongs we made and shine the light that leads the way? Will we pay for our mistakes and wash away the pain?
Bay Area veteran musician Shaun Bivens has seen and done it all. His early hip-hop and thrash metal days saw the highest highs while living the life of a rock star. But there were crushing lows that led to alcohol abuse, selling and taking drugs, guns, and even jail. Nothing was working until Shaun turned to God and began to slowly transform his life. His new book, Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll, One Man's Journey to God, is now available, and he joins us now. Please welcome to Soundwaves TV, Mr. Shaun Bivens. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to talk to you, Shaun. You are a Bay Area music veteran doing all the things. Can we just say you're doing all the things?
That's what boredom will get you.
I guess. Yeah. I love it. I've followed your career for a long time. I met you over a decade ago at a show you played with my husband's band at the time at Slim's. Rest in peace, Slim's.
Rest in peace, Slims, Uptown.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of them. So many of them.
I know, man. It sucks. Hopefully now that we're coming out of this craziness, they'll all get back on their feet. Here's hoping.
Yes.
But I followed you in a band called Pain and Court of Blood Technique. And now the Black Stone Funk Revival. I love this. From metal to funk and everywhere in between, dude.
Yeah. Hip hop.
Hip hop, you're all over the place. Like what? Yeah. First of all, where do you get your energy? And why so many things? I love it. Which, by the way, I just have to tell you, this question coming from a girl who has 2 radio shows, a TV show, and a podcast. So go ahead. Let me know.
And then the hustle continues. But, it started for me in the, I'm going to say late 70s when I first picked up guitar, got into the whole, the Kiss thing, the gateway drug, metal. We had our first little garage band, and then a few years later, the whole hip hop movement took off. From New York and with the real b-boy stuff. The thing, and we got into that, and then we got into breakdancing. So I grew up with all that stuff. Living in Oakland and going back, and then having a house in Hayward, my dad's house in Hayward, my mom's house in Oakland. I was exposed to all different types of stuff. I got firsthand with the thrash scene starting.
You were in it. I love that.
I was part of that, and in that with and grew up with those dudes. A lot of those dudes lived around us in Valley and Fremont, Oakland, as you know. So, and then the hip hop thing happened as well. So it was like, it was natural for us to just get into all of it, because we were kids. It was just fun.
I hear when I'm listening to, like, we're going to bounce around a little bit just so everyone knows between all your bands. And I feel like I'm probably missing some too. But like Blackstone Funk Revival, we played a video a couple weeks back from you guys. And it is so like, it is Prince funkiness at its finest. I was like, oh my God, I love this. So I feel like Prince is probably a big influence to you as well. Who else?
Definitely. You know, Prince is the guy who put it all in one package.
Yeah.
You know, he put all the music in one thing. So it's like, you kind of don't really have to go anywhere else. If you like different styles of music, you can kind of get all in Prince. And I spent a few years, you know, I grew up with Larry Graham's son. So I spent a few years playing guitar for Larry Graham. And I got to watch Prince and got to play with, you know, some of the guys in Sly and Family Stone and some of the cats in Prince's band. And Prince would come see, you know, our shows after Larry would play with him, of course. And so I just always was influenced. I mean, all the way back to the first 2 Prince records. And of course, Dirty Mind is my favorite Prince record.
Go to. Yeah. So since you have been in the same space with Prince, so does he levitate into a room, or like he's otherworldly to me?
My short encounter with him, you know, and just, you know, being around those guys and some of the guys in his band he was just like a regular cat. But you know, mentioned Slims, rest in peace. We did a show with, I think, they played a show. I think it might have been Shoreline or something like that, and then they went and played Slims after, and I
remember
Larry Graham and all that, and you know, I just stood on the side of the stage and just watched him play a small venue, and it's really like a master class. It just makes you want to go back and practice your instrument, and it makes you feel like you don't know anything.
Right. There are certain musicians that I think do that for people. Eddie Van Halen is another good reference point. When he would get on stage and rip, people would just be like, I'm going to put down my guitar for the rest of my life. Like,
just next level. You know. Otherworldly.
Yeah. They're in another dimension. Speaking of another dimension, I feel like you and I we're going to be locked in on this moment, because I am from Southern Oklahoma, the Bible Belt. So born and raised a Christian, born and raised in the church. Spirituality is a huge part of who I am. Religion, I've gone back and forth, and I have my questions still to this day, but I am very much a churchgoer, very much a God-fearing woman. And I love this book because it is all about your journey to God. It's called Sex, Thugs, and Rock and Roll, which, by the way, the cover of that is so amazing. I love it.
Buddy Todd, great guy.
Really great picture, but one man's journey to God. So, you know, when you think about a guy who's been a musician for a long time, and a lot of it being in the rock and roll and metal world, the first thing you think of is typically not Christianity or a relationship with God. How did this all come about for you?
Well, you know, my parents are both from the South, and, you know, God was always kind of a topic, you know, but I don't think anybody was really practicing back then. And then my mom got saved, I'm going to say early 80s. You know, saw just a complete transformation. But for me, it was, you know, some people say God taps you on the shoulder. God had to kind of kick me in the head a little bit.
Yeah, it takes.
I went through it all. Yeah. Exactly. I did it all. You know, I did the gang thing. I did the drug selling thing. You know, jail, and you know, it just got to a point where you just say, you know, look, God, if you're really real and you really exist, then, you know, I need to get out of this. You know, I just gave it to him and said, all right, I tried it my way. I tried it 100 different ways. Now I'm going to try it your way.
That's so good. When did this happen for you? How old were you?
About 10 years ago. Okay. I went and I just, you know, I'm going to get baptized. I'm going to get saved. I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to start doing things a different way, you know, and I really felt like God was telling me, you know, I gave you this gift and you're not using it for the right reasons. You're using it to party, you know, you've been using it for the girls, and you've been using it for me, and watch what I do with it. And so now, you know, you fast forward 10 years later and you see that, you know, like things are starting to, I mean, you know, I used to be on, you know, I've been signed to probably 3 or 4 major labels and a bunch of little indie labels. And so I'm seeing what God's doing now. You know, there's been a long gap where, you know, I wasn't, you know, on TV a lot and, you know, videos and all this stuff. But now it's starting to really take off again. I really attribute that to, you know, God saying, hey, man, if you do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to bless you. So I'm starting to see a little bit of those blessings come through right now.
Good for you. It's clear that you're walking in your purpose, Shaun. I mean, you're an incredible musician in every genre. It's the truth, and it takes, sometimes people never find what their purpose is. And sometimes it takes people a long time. Some people know from the beginning, it just, each one of us has our own journey. And your journey certainly could have gone a different direction with doing the drug thing and the gang thing and the alcohol and all of that stuff. I think you're very well aware you could have ended up dead or, in jail. Or
I know a lot of people who are not here.
Exactly. Yeah. So when you decided to turn your life around and go, you know what, like I'm done with all that business. I tried all that craziness and I'm going to do this. How was that for you? Your friends, your family, your connections in the music industry, all of that. How was that experience for you?
Well, you're going to lose some people, but it wasn't half as bad as I thought, Start getting down to the nuts and bolts of it. What do you believe and blah, 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 blah. Then it gets a little sketchy, but you got to stay flat footed in your, in your theology and what you believe. But for the most part, people are, people, from me and my experience, people are like, man, if Shaun is getting saved, then there must be a God. That's
I like that.
That's kind of the effect that it's had with my close circle. And, and I get to talk to my friends about it now. And, and it's weird. Friends will call me now and ask me questions. Hey, what about this? And what do you believe about this? I heard this about the Bible. And what do you believe about this and Jesus? And, and I'm able to give them some, and not all the answers. I haven't been through the whole Bible yet.
Right.
I'm able to really, talk to them more about it because I know more about it.
Yeah. And I think, if you are in the faith, as long as you're leading from a place of love and light and kindness, then you will attract.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I think so too. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being so open and honest about it, especially in this book. I'm so excited to finish this book because, it's not a story that you hear all the time. And I just think it's bold of you to make that public claim because people think like, oh, if you're a Christian, well, first of all, they think you can't have any fun, which is absolutely not the truth. Hello. But also that you're like always judgy and always, there's just a lot of preconceived.
There's a stigma that goes along with Christian. And there's a lot of Christians that I don't deal with.
Yeah, me too.
But for that reason, there's those judgy people, and you get more people by being, with what the honey and the vinegar story.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I go the honey route,
Yeah, the honey route is the way to go.
Get some friends and we can all get saved and get in together when this whole thing is over. So.
I love that. I love it. So you've got a band called Pain Back. You've got Black Stone Funk Revival that people have seen on Soundwaves. You've got Court of Blood Technique. How do you split your time between all these?
Well, it's not that hard right now because you're
not gigging, right?
Yeah, we're not active like that right now.
Right.
So I spend a lot of time in the studio. I own a studio in Redwood City, so I'm always recording. I'm Prince in that way where. I just go crazy. I just have to record. I have to make music. I have to be creating, or that's what keeps me sane.
Well, we are so excited about all the things that you're doing, Shaun. I so appreciate you coming on the show, especially since you've got a lot going on, making the time for us. Everybody, make sure you pick this up. So, where can everybody find you online? Grab the book and find all your bands.
So just go to my Facebook page, SHAUN, Shaun Bivens, Bivens. And just message me if you want a copy. We're doing it the old school underground way. We're cutting out the middleman, and we ship it right to people's houses, and that's how we're doing it right now. And then all the projects, got the Shiny Be Fresh, and and Fire in the Ashtray, and all these other Court of Blood, and all these other projects. You can just go to my YouTube page and check that out. Shaun.
I'm telling you, I hit some of them, but I didn't get anywhere near all of them. So
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I've been preaching over the last year, Shaun, that people need to support local music, whether it is, going to these live streams people are hosting or buying merch. And, not too many people have a book to buy. So any way that you can support local music, support the scene, do so. So make sure you find Shaun on Facebook. All right. So we have not shown the Court of Blood Technique here on Soundwaves yet. I think we should do that. Right. Don't you think so?
Yes, do that.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Here is God from the Court of Blood Technique. You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back.
Now if you before me got me love struck, but earlier we're talking like playing a scene from a vintage movie. House full of love, it's all we ever need. It's all we ever need. Baby, you got the best name going. L-A-U-R-A, I only have 3 words for you. Yes, I do. Our love's like playing a scene from a vintage movie. Hearts full of love, it's all we ever need. I am the beast and you are the beauty. Our love's like playing a scene from a vintage movie. Ferryman on the car, be a king to the keys. I know I'm worth your while. Our love's like playing a scene from a vintage movie. Hearts full of love, it's all we ever need. I am the beast and you are the beauty. Playing a scene from a vintage movie. A vintage movie. I know I'm worth your while. We're gonna see it all. I know I'm worth your while. We're gonna see it
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Stephen Kirk back here with you on Soundwaves TV, and you have made it to the final stretch. That's right, we have one more video to go, and boy, is it a good one. Here's Bite Me Bambi with Like That.
Baby, won't you listen? Oh, how you gotta be this way? I've given you good years, you're giving me these tears, and now there's something that I need to say. I can't believe what you're doing to me. You're telling me to drop it, but I'm just that you can't take back. You should know by now you can't do me like that. Why you wanna go and do me like that? Break me down like a heart attack. Don't see something that you can't take back. You should know by now you can't do me like that. Can't do me like that. Oh, you can't do me like that. Can't do me like that. Do me like
Well, that does it for us on this episode of Soundwaves TV. That was Bite Me Bambi Like That. Love those guys. They're always so much fun. And we're always so much fun, aren't we, though?
It's true. I think so. I'm fond of us.
I think so, too. Make sure you're playing along with us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And we have our own Roku channel. Love saying that. That's so exciting. You can literally binge us. We are binge worthy. And if you want to support us, we would love you for it. Hit us up on Patreon and you can become a patron. We have great patrons there. We love them so, so much because they make this possible. So check us out there as well.
And next week, I'm totally excited because one of my all-time favorite bands, and I can say that now because I've listened to them a lot recently, the Dolly Rots are not only stopping by, we're going to spend the whole damn show with them. We're going to play their videos. We've got their influences. We've got a good extended interview with them. Dolly Rots are awesome. And if you don't know who they are, after next week, you will.
You know the way to my heart, guys. Cheers.
That's for sure. They became besties really quick. All right, you guys, that's it for us this week. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye.
Oh, I have breaking news. Baby Huey wants to jump in on this whole Full House thing. Baby Huey, take it.
As the great Stephanie Tanner once said, how rude. I can't believe you guys talked about Full House earlier in the show without including me, Baby Huey, the biggest fan of all time. I grew up watching Full House. I used to watch it every single week when it was on Friday nights on ABC as a part of TGIF. Remember that? And then when it made the move to Tuesday nights, I watched every single episode, all 8 seasons. I lived through Full House. It was my generation's Brady Bunch. I grew up loving the show. I have it on DVD. And even when Bob Saget and Dave Coulier came into the studio, I had both of them sign all my DVDs here. I'm looking for you, John Stamos. If I ever meet you, you're going to sign this. That way I have the Holy Trinity. All 3 of them sign my DVDs. I cannot wait. Also, I grew up loving Full House. I remember Bob Saget wasn't the original guy cast to play Danny Tanner. And that's the thing. Growing up, everyone used to call me Danny Tanner because my real name is Danny. Also, John Stamos, remember he used to have long hair on the first season, and then he had short hair starting the second season because he got into that motorcycle accident, and he had to wear the